I'm going to show you how to replace a carburetor on a snowblower. This is an Ariens model from 2008, but this process will help you fix your snowblower of any make or model. If you find this content helpful, please subscribe. So here we have our snowblower. It's a Ariens 2008, still in great condition, but it's having trouble running. It won't stay running for a long time, and we're about to fix it. So when we come down here, we can find the controls, and we can see that the choke right here, it usually only runs at a half choke. It won't run at zero choke. Usually the carburetor's to blame. It could be one of many reasons, but at $25, we're going to just throw a new carburetor in to get a nice even running engine. So the first thing we do is take off the few bolts. I think they're 8 millimeters that hold on the cover to the carburetor. So once you get those all off, you want to be sure to take out the key to the snowblower, because it will hold this case on, as I'll show you in a second here. So with that kind of removed, there's the key. Got to take the key out. Now the case can fully come off, revealing the carburetor. Put that key to the side along with all the other screws. Now we can take out these Torx bit from the carburetor to the intake. So make sure you save that hardware. Want to put it back together. Now the carburetor's loose, and we just got to remove that throttle cable and that hose. There's a hose. So there's actually two hoses, the fuel line and a vacuum line, and a gasket that seals it up. So there's the vacuum line. Put that back on, make sure it's sealed up nice. I cut it a little bit shorter to have a nice seal. Then there's the throttle cable, or linkage rather. And it needs to fit in that hole, that top right hole, as you can see here. Then with that in, you can hook up the hose and put the gasket on. So tighten that hardware back down, seating that gasket. Now I got them snugged up. We're going to tighten them down after we get this clamped back where it needs to be for the hose. And you can see it's hooked back up. So everything's back together. Here's the old one. Just looking at it, it still functioned pretty well. I think there was just a vacuum leak on this one. We probably could have fixed it and sealed it back up, but this is such a cheap part. Might as well just have had it ready to go. Put the new one in. So there's the linkage for the choke. And there's a bracket on here that we need to remove to install on the new one, where those Phillips head screws attached to on the case. So I tightened everything down nice and snug, not over tightening it. We're going to put the case back on, lining everything up, making sure that the throttle or the engine speed and the choke line up well. Then tighten everything down to cover the carburetor. That's with everything back together. We can now put the knob back on the choke, put the key back in the machine. Prime it up, start it up, put it on zero choke, and it's running great. So that was the problem. It had something to do with the carburetor. And now when it's on zero choke, it's pretty warm out today, but it's running great from the get-go. So if you found this content helpful, please subscribe to the channel.